Okay, let's dive into something pretty cool today. We're looking at a watch that, well, it seems like it's built to bridge that gap between traveling the world and exploring underwater.
Absolutely. We're going deep on a specific version of the Mido Ocean Star GMT, this new gold PVD edition. It's quite striking.
Yeah, it looks it. And we're using an article here as our guide, sort of laying out all the details. What makes this particular one tick?
Hmm.
So our mission really is to unpack the source, figure out why this watch, with its travel and dive features, might be such a strong contender for someone who wants capability, but also like cool design and good value.
Right. And the article really highlights that core appeal.
Yeah.
You've got a genuinely useful travel function. They stress it's a true GMT,
Oh.
which we should definitely get into,
Oh yeah, that's
paired with, proper dive watch specs. And now it's in this pretty flashy new color scheme. It's really positioning itself as that do-it-all summer watch.
the dive and fly companion, as they say, with style. So before we get lost in the gold PVD and everything, maybe let's just quickly set the stage. What's the general idea behind Mido as a brand for someone maybe not super familiar?
Sure. Mido, they're part of the Swatch Group, sitting comfortably in that mid-level category.
Yeah.
The article actually gives them quite a bit of praise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it says they have a strong rep for delivering solid horological content at a fair price. And crucially, they pair that with a cool sense of design.
Okay.
They even point to the Ocean Star 39
Mm.
as a good recent example of that, balancing the quality, the value, the looks.
Right, so quality, value, design. Got it. And this Ocean Star GMT line, it's not brand new then.
No, no, not at all. The original Ocean Star GMT apparently made a great impression when it first launched.
Okay.
It managed to combine that really practical, true GMT function, which, again, the article stresses pretty unusual to see done this way at this price.
Right, the true GMT part.
Exactly. Alongside, strong diving credentials.
Yeah.
So it was already seen as a pretty compelling package, especially for, say, summer travel and activities.
Okay, so a strong base to build on. What exactly is new with this gold PVD edition we're focused on today?
Well, the main update, according to the article, is really all about the look and feel, the colors, the finish.
Right, the aesthetics. Tell us about that.
So you've got the case. It has brushed and polished bits, but the whole thing is coated in this yellow gold PVD.
PVD, that's that coating process, right? Physical vapor deposition.
Exactly. Bonds a thin layer, gives it that gold color and some durability. And that's paired up with a nicely integrated rubber strap in chocolate brown.
Gold and chocolate brown rubber. Okay.
Yeah, the article calls it a well-known, usually winning combination of colors. It's a classic pairing.
Sounds like it would definitely get noticed. The article calls this version chic and flashy. Suggests you can travel in style, dive securely, and look good at the poolside bar, really playing up that versatility.
It definitely is. But it's important to remember what the article points out, too. Most things have not changed compared to the inaugural editions presented in 2020, or the special edition of 2022.
So the core stuff, that dive and fly DNA, that's carried over. What does that mean in terms of like the basic specs and features?
Well, the fundamental idea is still that mix between a travel-oriented movement and a dive watch case. Size-wise, the article gives us 44 millimeter diameter, 13.28 millimeters thick.
Okay, 44 millimeters is, well, it's not small.
No, it's not the smallest, the article admits that. But they do highlight the manageable L2L measurement at 50 millimeter. That's lug to lug.
Ah, right, the lug to lug, often more important for how it actually wears.
Exactly. You can make a bigger watch sit better on the wrist.
So sizable, but maybe wearable. And how do they actually fit both the dive and travel functions onto the watch physically?
They use a pretty smart classic setup. You got your standard unidirectional rotating 60-minute dive bezel. It's ceramic, good for scratch resistance, for timing dives or anything else.
Right, standard dive feature.
And the article makes a point that this bezel wasn't sacrificed or used for the GMT function. That gets its own separate 24-hour scale, which is placed on an inner ring around the dial itself.
Okay, so a dedicated bezel for diving and a dedicated 24-hour scale for the second time zone. That sounds like they're taking both functions seriously.
Seems like it. And the water resistance backs up the dive side, too. It's rated to a solid 200 meters.
Nice.
And for the travel side, kind of a neat little touch on the case. It's closed, solid steel, but it's engraved with 24 time zones.
Oh, that's cool. A little traveler's aid right there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the dial then. How do these new colors play out there, and is it easy to read?
Okay, so the main dial surface is described as a velvety black base. Then you have that angled inner flange, the ring just inside the bezel where the 24-hour GMT scale is.
Right.
And for this gold edition, they've used new colors there. Black for nighttime and brown for daytime.
Ah, tying into the chocolate strap. Makes sense.
Exactly. And the hands follow suit. Main hour and minute hands are gold-plated, matching the case. The GMT hand, the one pointing to the 24-hour scale, is brown varnished.
And the date. Sometimes that's an afterthought.
Good point. The article notes the date disc is black, so it blends right in with the black dial. Always looks better, I think.
Yeah, avoids that contrasting white square. And what about lume? For reading it in the dark or, well, underwater.
Crucial, yeah. The source mentions large applied and luminous markers. Says they make sure that legibility at night or underwater won't be a problem. So sounds like they've covered that base well.
Good. Okay, let's get under the hood. What's powering this thing, the movement?
Right. It's using an evolution of the classic Powermatic 80 base movement, which is basically Swatch Group's updated version of the ETA 2824, a real workhorse movement known for reliability.
And the Powermatic 80, that's known for the big power reserve, isn't it?
That's its main claim to fame. You get up to 80 hours of power reserve. Massive.
Wow, 80 hours. That's over 3 days.
Yeah, the article explains it's achieved partly by reducing the frequency to 3 Hz, that's 21,600 beats per hour, instead of the more common 4 Hz, plus some internal tweaks, work on the kinetic chain, they call it, for efficiency.
Okay. Any other tech in there?
Yep, it also has a Novacron balance spring. That's one of those modern alloys resistant to magnetic fields. Always a practical plus, with phones and laptops everywhere.
Definitely. So great power reserve, anti-magnetic. But the real star, movement-wise, for this watch is that GMT function. The article really flagged the true GMT part as being important, especially for the price.
Yes, this is absolutely the key thing for travelers. The article is super clear. It has the extra GMT hand, obviously, but the traveling function being a so-called true GMT and not an office GMT is often seen in this price range.
Okay, gotta nail this down. What exactly is the difference between a true GMT and an office GMT? And why does the source say true is better for travel?
Right, the article defines true GMT perfectly. It's the local hour hand that can be adjusted independently by 1-hour increments when changing time zone.
The main hour hand jumps.
Exactly. In an office GMT, it's usually the 24-hour GMT hand that you can adjust independently. The main hour hand stays linked to the minutes, so you have to reset the whole time to change local time.
Ah, I see. So with the true GMT...
With the true GMT, when you land in a new time zone, you just pull the crown out to the right position and click the main hour hand forward or backward, hour by hour. The watch keeps running, the minutes and seconds aren't affected.
Oh, that's much easier.
It's way more practical for actual travel. As the article says, highly practical. Your GMT hand can just stay pointed to your home time, or maybe UTC, and the date changes automatically with the local hour hand, too. It's just seamless.
Yeah, I can see why that's a big deal, especially if you travel a lot. And the article implies that's quite complex to engineer at this price point.
Apparently so. Getting that independent local hour adjustment integrated correctly, especially based on the Powermatic 80, is probably why they make such a point of it, the feature you usually see on more expensive watches.
Makes sense. So a really user-friendly travel complication there. Okay, we've covered the watch head pretty well. How does it actually attach to your wrist, that strap setup?
So it comes on that integrated chocolate brown rubber strap we mentioned earlier, and that's fitted with a gold PVD folding clasp, so it matches the case.
Okay.
And importantly, it includes the diving extension built into the clasp, so you can easily expand it to fit over a wetsuit sleeve. Keeps the Ocean Star dive heritage intact.
Right, practical touch for the dive side. Anything else about the strap?
Yeah, one more convenience thing. It has quick-release spring bars.
Ah, easy strap changes.
Good. Makes it simple to swap it out if you want to try a different look. No tools needed.
Nice. Okay, final details then. If someone's listening and thinking, yeah, this golden brown dive travel watch sounds intriguing, what's the availability and the damage, the price?
Okay, the article says it's part of the permanent collection, so not a limited edition, and it's now available.
Good to know.
And the price listed is 1,410 euros.
1410 euros. Okay, so let's try and pull this all together for you, the listener. What we're really seeing with this Mido Ocean Star GMT Gold PVD, it's a watch that's trying and seemingly succeeding at doing quite a lot.
Yeah, it's got the solid dive watch credentials, 200-meter water resistance, dive bezel, good lume. Then it adds that really functional, true GMT complication, the one with the jumping local hour hand, which is fantastic for travel.
And wraps it all up in this well, pretty bold new look. The
Yeah.
gold PVD, the chocolate brown accents.
Exactly. It fully embraces that dive and fly idea. They made specific choices, like keeping the dive bezel separate and implementing that specific type of GMT to make sure both aspects are, properly usable.
And as the source keeps reminding us, getting that particular combo, especially the true GMT movement at that kind of price point, around 1,400 euros, that's a big part of its appeal. It's offering a lot of function for the money.
Definitely punching above its weight in terms of features, particularly that GMT.
So, thinking about that mix, rugged enough for real diving, smart enough for easy time zone hopping, plus this new stylish, maybe even a bit flashy look. What does that open up for you? How might you use a watch like this? Is this blend of serious practicality and eye-catching style something that appeals to what you're looking for in a watch?